I think one of the most consistent things that we see here at Muscle Activation Schaumburg, after clients come in and they've been eating completely different than how they normally eat, is a lot of the muscles around their trunk start to not work as well, and they start to be complaining more of like back issues and hip symptomy stuff, and maybe even up into the shoulder and neck symptomy stuff. Welcome to the Exercise is Health podcast, where we're talking about exercise, health, and the interconnectedness of the two. We are your hosts, Charlie
and Julie,
and we will be coming to you every single week from our studio, Muscle Activation Schaumburg. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Exercise is Health podcast. We're your hosts, Charlie
and Julie,
and we are coming to you from our studio, Muscle Activation Schaumburg in Schaumburg, Illinois. Now, at Muscle Activation Schaumburg, we believe your health is your most valuable asset. Your health is one of the biggest influencers of the quality and quantity of time that you have. And while there are many aspects of health, our expertise is exercise. Exercise has been proven time and again to not only improve your health, but also increase your longevity and improve your quality of life. And if you are looking for a surefire way to improve your health, your body's function, your longevity, exercise is a fantastic way to do that. And we have a way to guide you for when you're exercising on your own. If you want to get MAS quality workout, the quality of workout that we give our clients here at Muscle Activation Schaumburg, if you want that quality of workout, but on your own time at your own gym, enroll in our virtual membership program. Go to our website, www.matschaumburg.com, click on the membership tab, because you can enroll in our membership program and we can build exercise programs for your body so you can get the quality of exercise sessions that we do at MAS on your own. And today we are answering questions about exercise, questions about why your body may not be feeling good, and questions about why this time of year in particular your body might feel a little bit more stressed than it does during the rest of the year. So we had a question sent in through Facebook saying, why does my body feel so stressed after the holidays? And this is a consistent thing that we hear year after year after year. After the holiday season comes and goes, January comes around and people are excited to get going with their New Year's resolutions. But wow, does their body feel stressed out? We want to talk about why and what to do about it today.
And actually, if you don't notice that every year after the holidays your body's feeling stressed, you probably do notice, and you probably just don't acknowledge it. Because you know that thing where it's like when you're feeling good, you forget that you once didn't feel good. It's like all year or for a while you're feeling really good, and then when you're sick or you're not feeling perfect or you're stressed out, you forget that, oh yeah, I've felt this way before. Well, every year, doesn't matter what year, at the beginning of the year, January 1, you would assume that, every gym would be slammed and all trainers would be completely booked. And actually, the first week of January is the week that Charlie and I have the most cancellations. So cancellations meaning good intentions and unable to follow through. And a lot of times that inability to follow through with appointments is because bodies are stressed out, bodies are fatigued, bodies are overwhelmed from what just happened, which is the holidays. All of December is usually filled, end of November, all of December, and into the first day of the year is filled with just activities that throw our bodies off. And the real issue here is that our expectation going into the new year is probably the highest that we have all year long. It's not just like a regular time of the year. It's a time when we're like, I got to get in shape, or it's time for me to start attacking my fitness goals or get my nutrition on point. And we're coming off of probably the most challenging for our body time of the year. So it's this really interesting contrast that we see every single year, and every year we try to educate our clients on this, but no matter what, because it is holidays, and you know what? Why do you exercise all year long, right? To be as healthy as you can so you can live the life you want to live. So if living the life you want to live is part of that is holidays, great, do that. But you have to also acknowledge what that does to your body. So today's podcast, we're going to answer that question and talk about some considerations to think about when coming off the holidays, because it happens every single year. And this could also be applied if you have like a big celebration weekend, or you have a big stressor or commitment that takes up a week of your time or something, or a vacation. So this is recommendations and ideas for coming off of a stressful event, even if it's stressful fun, even if it's stressful holiday or stressful vacation, because all of these things are stresses on your body. So we have to acknowledge, how do we deal with this?
So let's start identifying what some of the main stresses are that we see affecting people's systems during and immediately after the holidays. And I think first and foremost, the biggest culprit, or at least the most consistent culprit that we see, is changes in people's nutrition. All year long, people can be really strict with how they're eating, or at least really consistent with how they're eating. And then all of a sudden the holidays come along and it's like a pass that everybody gives themselves to try a little bit of this and taste a little bit of that. And all of a sudden, after 6 weeks of that, your body's not feeling so good. And this takes a tremendous toll on not just like your digestive system, but on your neuromuscular system as well. I think one of the most consistent things that we see here at Muscle Activation Schaumburg's, after clients come in and they've been eating completely different than how they normally eat, whether it's more sweets, whether it's, more gluten or something that they've introduced to their diet that they just don't normally have, is a lot of the muscles around their trunk start to not work as well. And they start to be complaining more of like back issues and hip symptomy stuff, and maybe even up into the shoulder and neck symptomy stuff. And so often this is accompanied with, hey, the muscles that control the trunk and spine don't seem to be working as well. And it's highly correlated with, you know what, every time you go out and you have this sugar binge, every time you go out and you have a whole bunch of gluten, or you have something food-wise that your body's not agreeing with, it's not just that it gives you a tummy ache, it affects a lot more than that. And for us here, we see it directly affecting the neuromuscular system.
Yeah, we see that when we're working with people with muscle activation techniques. So definitely keep this in mind, that your nutrition, a lot of times we think of, especially at the holidays, that we're just in a caloric, a positive caloric equation, right? Like you're eating more than you're expending, but you're doing a lot more to your system than that. You're probably causing a lot of inflammation. You're probably eating larger meals, eating differently, eating a lot of sugar, probably a lot of carbs, and just not your normal. So we have to be aware of this. But not only that, it's also usually paired with a difference in how you're moving throughout the day. I know at the holidays in my in-laws, we do a lot of lounging. So it's like I'm not moving very much, and I'm a personal trainer. I'm used to getting up and down and moving all around and talking all day and using energy all day. And then if we spend the holidays at my family's house, I literally am exhausted because we're moving around more than usual. So you have to acknowledge that, hey, my movement is now different. Not only that, I think a lot of us, especially if you exercise, either you take a break from exercise or your workouts might be different. And you might even be working out with the mindset of, I've eaten a lot, so now I'm going to work out a lot. Like do this crazy workout. And you have to remember what we said before, that even when you're eating differently, it's not just the caloric change, it's also the change in the substance, like the makeup of what you're eating. And sometimes I even like to think of it as you're almost entering the gym like a little more malnourished, because you're probably not eating as nutrient dense of food. You're probably eating a lot more junk. And so you have to acknowledge your body's a little bit less prepared, although it might have the energy, right? It has the calories, which is a description of energy. I'm not talking about like how energized you are. So you might have the calories in your body, but you don't have the same building blocks that you do in your normal routine of food and movement.
Now, another reason why we see people's bodies start to feel a little tweaked during and after the holidays is the increase in emotional stress that often comes with the holidays, or can come with the holidays. And we're not just talking about the emotional stress that might come with the kind of increased financial burden that can be present during the holidays, but the emotional stress of the logistics of traveling, the logistics of year-end stuff. Like if you are in a corporation or running a company and you have all your year-end stuff or end of quarter quarter stuff. If you're a salesperson, you have your quarterly deadlines that you're trying to meet, your quotas. All this emotional stress can be tied in with the nutritional stress, and all of a sudden your body starts feeling a lot more tweaked. You have increased social obligations that are cutting down on the time where you would normally be relaxing and allowing your body to recover and your mind to recover. And now all of a sudden you have more stuff packed into your day that doesn't give you a chance to unwind. So you wake up the next day feeling less refreshed. You're going into the office and you got everybody breathing down your neck to hit your numbers. Well, guess what? You're going to be more emotionally stressed. You do that for 6 weeks straight. January 1 comes around. Guess what? You don't feel like going to the gym. And if you do work up if you do end up going to the gym, you get out of there and you don't feel great because your body was not rested, was not prepared, was not ready to go and work out in the manner that you probably worked out. And so now you're even in a greater deficit, having to recover even more because you just did a workout that your body wasn't prepared for.
Yeah, the next point that's huge during the holidays is travel. And travel meaning like when you go places, even if it's just to friend's house or in an airplane, or when people are coming to your house all the time. You're around a lot of people and probably in some pretty close quarters. We see a lot of our clients getting sick around this time of year because they're inside a lot more doing indoor activities, which is fine and normal for winter, but you're also indoors with 10 other people that you're not used to being around. And this also goes for, if you're in airplanes, you're exposed to different stuff. And this is just a lot higher frequency and a lot more people doing this at this time of year that we see illnesses spread pretty quickly. And this could definitely, obviously, if you're sick, make you not feel so great in the new year.
Lack of sleep is another thing that we see, or at least change in your kind of sleep routine, whether it's going to sleep later, having to change how you normally kind of are able to relax and recover on the weekends because of going to holiday parties or having to travel. And so all of this can be very disruptive to the sleep that your body's getting. And as such, your body's not recovering well. Again, just leading one day to the next where your body is less prepared to tolerate the stresses that are going to be presented during that day.
The last thing is just the decrease in personal care. I think everything we've listed so far in some form or fashion, even if it's not perfect, is part of our personal care routine, right? Like how we eat, the schedule we have for going to the gym. Maybe you are a meditator and now you don't have time to meditate during the holidays. So all of these things would pile into what we would call personal care. So in December and in the holidays, you're generally spending less time caring for yourself, more time preparing for the events, more time thinking about others, more time with family. And these are all great things, but since we always have the same amount of time, that means less time focused strictly on your own personal care routine.
And all of this gets topped off with great expectations for the new year, meaning you're going to beat your body up for the last 6 weeks of the year, and then you're going to go into the new year and you are just going to crush it. You're going to rock it. You're going to work out 5 days a week. You're going to be up at 5 a.m. You're going to meditate every day. You're going to do all the things that you know you should be doing but definitely aren't doing, and you're going to start on day one. Well, no, because you're up late New Year's Eve. So let's start on day 2, and you are just going to crush it going forward. You're going to have all these amazing expectations of what's going to happen, and your body is not at all prepared to do any of those things. And so we try, and we commend that. We commend the effort that people are trying to do these things, but you're just not prepared to do these things, to try to develop these habits or to take on the task of exercising with the frequency that you're wanting to exercise or making the changes nutritionally that you're wanting to make, because you haven't built the habits, you haven't built the environment, you haven't built the lifestyle around you to be able to support that. And you've spent the last 6 weeks kind of draining all the resources out of your body. And now you are left with great expectations and little ability to get those things done.
So let's jump into talking about some ideas and considerations to getting your body back up to where you do have resources and build up in your body so that you can do the missions and the goals that you set out for yourself in the new year, whether they're fitness related or business related or whatever. Hands down, when your body is depleted the way we deplete ourselves in the holidays, you cannot operate optimally and you cannot do the things that you want to do in the manner that you want to do them. So we've created some ideas. We're going to talk about them now. And the first one is get back to baseline ASAP. This means get back to your sleeping schedule, get back to your routine, get back to your nutrition. Here's some tips. Food is the easiest one. Is the hardest, easiest one. After the holidays, anyone have leftovers at their house? You got cookies in the freezer still? Throw them away. Get rid of them. They are not going to help you. Make it easy on yourself. It is so easy to get back on track as long as you allow yourself to make it easy. I know for myself, so many people come up to like Charlie and I like, you guys must be trainers. It must be so easy, to eat healthy and be healthy. I'm like, yeah, Charlie has pretty good self-control, but I do not. So if I'm going to have cookies, I need to buy one. I cannot be bringing them home. I can't be doing all this junk, right? So for nutrition, just get it out of your house. Cleanse your house of all of the junk that you've filled your home with and help yourself get back to baseline as soon as possible. So the second thing is sleep. Sleep is your best time to recover. We all know that. We know that for our kids. We set strict bedtimes and wake up times for our kids. Set those for yourself, especially now. Because during the month of December, you're probably staying up way later. Your wake up time might be more lax, or your wake up time is just like the worst time of the day because you're really tired. So set the time when you're going to go to bed, whether you have an alarm or you tell your spouse. Like Charlie, again, he's really good at this. He's like, oh, it's 9:30, time to go to bed. And I'm always like, no, I want to stay up and watch more TV. But somehow we get upstairs and we have an idea in our head what time is time to go to bed, because that wake up time is still coming the next day. So make sure you get back on your sleep schedule as soon as possible. And additionally, get back to your workout routine. But I'm not going to go too far into this because that's going to lead us into our next points. But get back to regular movement. Your body will thank you. Of course, don't overdo it. We'll talk again a little bit into this, but get back to that normal movement routine that you had before.
Yeah, so you want to get back to baseline as soon as you possibly can. And like Julie was saying, looking at the different factors that go into what makes your body feel good and what makes your body function well, your nutrition, your stress levels, your movement, just get back to what you were doing pre-holidays before that. Okay, so that's guideline number one, get back to baseline. Guideline number two is then start to improve what's already working well. What are the things that you're already doing well? Start to fine tune those. So like Julie was saying, hey, with your exercise routine, get back to some kind of regular movement with your baseline and then start to increase from there. Okay. Don't jump to step number 2 before doing step number 1. So don't go from your holiday workout routine to your, beach body workout routine. Start from your holiday workout routine to your pre-holiday workout routine. Just get some regular movement and then you can start to bump it up from there. So step 2 is to improve what's already working well. Move into what you were doing pre-holidays, and then once you hit that baseline, then start to tweak and improve what's already working well. So guideline number 1 was to get back to baseline, get back to what you're doing pre-holidays. And then guideline number 2 is look and see what's working well with that and start to improve upon that. Start to improve about how you're exercising, start to improve about how you're eating, start to get a little bit more fine-tuned with your sleep and with your stress management, things of that nature.
Yeah, I love that one, improve what's already working well, because a lot of times, we'll just use this as a timeline. Let's say in November, you would say that your workouts are at baseline. Your workouts are doing whatever they're going to do. Your nutrition's doing whatever you're going to do. And then in the end of November for Thanksgiving, and then all through December, you actually go below the baseline. That means you're like negative 1, negative 2, whatever. You're negative below the baseline. And then January comes around because of these big expectations. Then we're like, well, I'm going to bump my workouts up to get to my goals, which is level 4, which is really an increase of like 6 if you're at -2, right? So what we're saying is, hey, get back to that baseline. Like, get back to what your body's used to before you start adding in the stuff to get to your goals. Because we want you to get to your goals. We just don't want you to harass your body in the meantime. We got to have you be healthy, a functioning human while you're getting to your goals. So get back to your baseline before, increasing off your baseline.
Our third guideline is to fix or tune up what is broken. So this is where you start to get a little bit more professional guidance, okay? If you feel like your workout routine is pretty good, but hey, there's something that's, it's not feeling quite right. Your joints aren't feeling quite right. Maybe the workouts, you're finding that you're not recovering well from them. Well, look to hire out for professional guidance to fix what might be broken about it, okay? To get a professional set of eyes on what you're doing, on your body, assessing your body, assessing what you're doing, and get their input as far as how to tweak things to be able to allow you to progress and kind of get your body back into working order. Another thought with this, as far as fixing or tuning up what is broken, is from a nutritional aspect. All right, get yourself back first to your baseline of your pre-holiday. Okay, maybe you start to bump up, what you're doing from a nutritional aspect, as far as eating out less, preparing your meals ahead of time, trying to eat, less processed foods, and then start to hire out for professional guidance to really start to fine-tune what you're eating and getting dietary recommendations. And then one of our favorite things here is with MAT. Hey, if you are working out or you're going through your daily life and you're noticing that your body is just starting to feel a little bit more achy, or tasks are feeling more difficult than they once were, and you're thinking, I must just be getting old or something like that, instead of saying, I just must be getting old, replace that with, my muscles must just not be working well. And if your muscles aren't working well, that's something that with MAT we're able to address. And that's what we help a lot of people with, is aches and pains and kind of physical limitations that are normally associated with aging and just getting old. It's actually a sign that the muscular system is becoming dysfunctional. And so if you find that that's something that you're experiencing, find an MAT specialist in your area and hire out for that professional guidance to learn what you should do and help get your body back up to par. So this third guideline for you is to fix or tune up what's broken or what's not working well, what doesn't seem to be getting back to baseline or allowing you to progress.
Our last tip is to allow for a greater stress buffer. Remember, we're trying to help you recover from the stressors of the holidays, and part of this is building in time for you to de-stress and decompress, because you're going to start adding in healthier foods, which will start making you feel good. You're start going to work out, you're going to move a little bit more, maybe you do some mental health things, but you have to allow time for your body to rest and recover. A lot of times in January, whether you have really felt really stressed from the holidays or you're just kind of moderately stressed from the holidays, we don't allow ourselves enough recovery time, because it's like January's go time. Let's go, 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 go. But give yourself time to sit and decompress. Give yourself time to meditate if you like to do that. Give yourself time to do those recovery workouts. Give yourself time to walk after dinner or whatever works for you. So make sure that you're not undervaluing or devaluing this time that is spent to create a stress buffer, because really these recovery things that you're doing are the things that make your body more resilient. Because if you think about it, when you're exercising, you're actually making your body temporarily less resilient, because workouts are a stressor. They're a physical stressor. That is what they are. They do provide a lot of benefits, but for the time being, they're a physical stressor. So these stress buffers will allow you to be able to recover faster from stressors that are negative or overwhelming or too much.
Yeah, and this point is huge. I know Julie and I have discussed in the past amongst ourselves this idea that, look, people either build in time for their body to recover, or their body forces them to build in time to allow it to recover. Meaning either they prioritize getting good sleep, having good nutrition, working out on a regular basis, and then, meditating and recovering and, doing stress management stuff. Or their body says, okay, you've been going and going and going and going. Guess what? I'm deciding that you're not going anymore and you're getting really sick. And so we find that after the holidays, if people have just been going and going and going and going, and they haven't allowed themselves the time to recover, they haven't allowed the time for their body to rejuvenate and to get built back up, their body decides, you know what? Yeah, I'm done with this. You're getting ill, so you have to stay home for the next 3 days. Like, there's going to be no choice on your end because you've been pushing too hard and you haven't been building in the time to recover. So now I'm making that choice for you. And it's really interesting how that happens. Rarely do we ever come across somebody who's like, yeah, I've been really sick for the last few days. And we ask, oh, what are you doing up to that? And nobody's like, oh, I've just been relaxing. I've been just totally chill. I've been eating well. I've been getting good sleep. And, I've been exercising on a regular basis. No, they're always like, oh, I've been super stressed at work. My sleep's been off. My nutrition's just been awful. Like, they've just been beating their body up. And all of a sudden their body decides, you haven't been building in the time to recover. Guess what? I'm going to force you to build in that time because now you're ill. And so after the holidays, if your body's feeling stressed, if you're not feeling well, that's your body saying, guess what? You have to recover. So this fourth point, allow for a greater stress buffer. This is huge.
I know a personal example for Charlie and I is a lot of people that know us personally, they probably know this about us, but pretty much between, the second half of Sunday through the first half of Friday, we basically don't do anything that's social or fun. Like, because we kind of work really long hours. We love it, but we're working pretty long hours. So usually when people ask us if we want to go to a concert on a Tuesday night, from 7 to 10 p.m., it has to be an immediate no for us. Or if we want to go to a Blackhawks game, in the middle of the week, or do something else that it takes us into the pretty late in the night, we know that we kind of have to say no because the rest of the week gets shot for us. I mean, we're completely drained. Usually that's the first thing that makes one of us, feel pretty icky or get ill or just feel, one of those drain days where you're like, I can't even wake up. But those kinds of things really tax us because of our hours here at the office. And so figure out what that means for you. We tend to prefer to do our social fun activities, the second half of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday mornings. Those are our times when we know we have the extra downtime. But if we get home from work at 8:30, we have an hour of relax time. If we lose that hour of relax time together, or just having a healthy dinner and just chilling and reviewing the day or relaxing, that really takes a toll on our body. And it's amazing how different it feels when we get that hour versus even if we just miss one in the week. So really, really prioritize your downtime. And that was just an example that Charlie and I have found for our own selves. You'll have to find out what works for you and your lifestyle and your work schedule and your stress at work or home life and things like that. But that's what we have found has worked for us, and something that I don't think we've ever talked about it, but we consistently do it. And every time we agree to something that's really late on a Wednesday night or something, we feel it, and it takes the weekend to recover because we need that downtime.
Now, there are a lot of reasons why your body may be feeling stressed after the holidays, between the food and the social commitments and the change of routine, the maybe lack of exercise or change in movement, plus the travel, plus being around people that you're maybe not normally around, and just extra stress that wouldn't otherwise be in your life. But at the end of the day, your ability to get back to feeling really good is totally in your hands, okay? First and foremost, you have to get back to your baseline. Think about what you were doing, how your day was set up, what your lifestyle was like before the holidays. Get back to doing that. Then start improving the things that are already working well. So if you find that your baseline is going to the gym, keep going to the gym. Start to improve what you're doing at the gym. Start to really hone in on your nutrition. Start to hone in on your sleep. Then If you, after you hone in on stuff, things still aren't feeling good, then it's time to start seeking out professional help, okay? Professional guidance as far as what you're doing for your exercise, how your body is moving, what you're doing from your nutrition. So start to fix or tune up what is broken is the third guideline. And then finally, allow yourself time for greater recovery. Build it back into your days, build it back into your weeks, time when you know it's for yourself to be able to recover.
To wrap it up, we do want to tell you about a brand new event that we are bringing to our hometown, Schaumburg, Illinois, this May 18th. From 9 to 2. It is called the Schaumburg Health Summit. You can check it out at www.schaumburghealthsummit.com. We've also posted all about it on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. So make sure you check out either one of those to find links to our information on the site. We are currently selling early bird tickets between now and March 31st. The price of the ticket is $50. That includes all the speaking events, all the events at the event, and you also get to have breakfast and lunch on us. So make sure you join us. If you have any questions on this event, please let us know. You can also email us at info@matschaumburg.com. We also have a very few number of speaking spots left if you are interested or know someone interested, and we also have sponsorship spots left. So if you know of a health business or you yourself are in a health related business and would like to promote your business to other health minded community members, please let us know and we will make sure to get you sponsoring that event to get your name out there.
Who do you know that needs to hear this episode? Who do you know whose body is feeling pretty stressed after the holidays? Share this episode with them so they can learn our 4 guidelines of what we think they should be doing in order to get their body feeling and functioning its best. And while you're online, if you wouldn't mind, head on over to iTunes, leave us a rating and review because it allows other people to find this information. If you found this talk today helpful at all, please let us know. Leave us a rating and review. We always, always, always appreciate it. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. It really means the world to us, you giving us your attention for 30 to 60 minutes each week. Have a fantastic week, and we'll talk with you all next week.
Am I saying bad stuff?
No, you're great. I'm laughing over here because when you said that I have really great self-control, I was thinking about an article that was written about me in college, and they described me as having the self-discipline of a monk.